Today we had probably one of the best days in our month in regards to Forex. And when I say we, I mean my community. But myself, I was able to actually make a really good profit. I'm not 100% sure exactly. I think it was like a 7-to-1 on risk reward or something like that. And in this specific video, what I want to share with you is, it's actually a 10-to-1. I want to teach you the strategy that I use. This is the only Forex strategy I use. I don't use any other strategy. And it's a strategy that takes you no more than 40 minutes. I'm being like exaggerated right now because it could probably be only 15-20 minutes a day. So if you don't have much time to trade, if you're like too emotional when you have trades open during the day and stuff, this strategy is for you. This is a strategy for beginners. And the coolest thing is that it doesn't require that much knowledge or that much indicators and all crazy stuff. No, it's a pretty simple strategy that I'm going to teach you right now. So let's go ahead and begin. Hey everyone, Christian here on YouTube. Welcome to a brand new video for the channel. Today, I'm gonna teach you a very simple strategy for Forex trading that I personally use. I'm gonna share some results and stuff. And this strategy could potentially help you either pass your funded account or make profits on your real account in very little time. So if you're new to my channel and you're into Forex, crypto, any type of making money online, this channel is for you. Hit that subscribe button below and let's begin. First things first, where are you trading? Okay, like a trusted broker, a prop firm. The best recommendation that I can give you, especially for beginners, is to trade with a trusted prop firm or funded account. Look, a funded account, for those of you who are not familiar, is pretty much you can actually buy a large account with very little money and, compared to actually trading with a real account, and then pass a challenge based on your profitability and stuff. And then you can actually trade with that amount of money, like big amounts of money, and withdraw 95% of your profits. How does it work? Let's say, for instance, you go to allaprime.com, which is the best prop firm in the world. I don't recommend any other. I made videos in regards to others, but honestly, the only one that has actually paid off is this one right here. And this one right here, as you can see, I'm gonna have the link to it, by the way, in the description of this video so you can get the best pricing. But just to give you an example, you could actually get a two-step Prime account for $100,000 for as low as $265 at the time I'm recording this video. Regular price is $409, but right now they're giving a 35% off. You can get a 25% off if you use the promo code BLW25 in case there's no other discount higher than that. But let's say, for instance, you had $300 to trade, and instead of you trading with only $300, which is going to take you a while for you to actually take it to a big account, then you could actually just buy a $100,000 account and trade with that $100,000 account. What happens? If you're able to make 10% of your profits, you can withdraw 95% of those profits, which is $10,000. Instead, you could withdraw $9,500. That's the beauty of a funded account. Obviously, if you have a larger amount of money for your real account, like $10,000, $20,000, you can trade with your real account. But if you have less money than that, then you should go with a funded account. You can buy up to $200,000 for as low as $600, and you can get a 25% off, by the way, on here because it's higher, BLW25. And once you actually trade with a $200,000 account, if you're able to make 20 grand, you will withdraw $18,000. So it's a nice way to leverage your money, and it's a way better profit than just, making 20-30% out of a $400 account. But like I said, the best company is Allaprime. I'm gonna have the link to it in the description of this video so that you can start with the best prop firm in the world. Now, the one thing that you need to keep in mind with this specific strategy is that it only works in one schedule and it only works with two assets. That's it. This could work for futures, could work for Forex or CFDs. What's the schedule? New York market opens. New York market opens is at 9 a.m. New York time, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do the math, depending on where you are. And the actual movement happens at 9:30 New York session, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific. Now, what happens is that, yeah, even though the market opens at that time, it's at 7:30, 9:30, 8:30 is when the actual volume starts to hit in the US 30 and US 100. Those are the two assets, the only two assets that this strategy actually works. US 30 and NASDAQ, or US 100, US tech if you are using IC markets, for instance. But yeah, this is the only time. And as you can see right here, the big movement, 7:30. You see the little schedule right here below the mouse, 7:30. That's the moment of the volatility. Keeping that out of the way, let's go ahead and go through the strategy. This is what happens. At 7:15 at candle, 7:15 is the last candle, you mark a support and resistance. Support and resistance based on the market structures that is going on. So in 50 minutes, I do see this little resistance being respected right here. Then it got broken. It became a support, but it got broken one more time by volume. This was actually yesterday. And then it was respected again. It got broken again. So therefore, this becomes the new support. The resistance is the highest point that this was actually able to reach. We have a large wick right here based yesterday in yesterday's volume, but we marked that highest point. That's it. Once you actually have that support and resistance level, what you need to mark this trend line, I don't want to confuse you. It's just the support and resistance. Once you actually have that, the market usually opens. This is US 30. We're going to go to NASDAQ in a bit, but the market usually opens with volume either going up or going down. Chris, how do we know if the price is going to go up or is going to go down? We don't. We do not know where the market is going to go. Nobody does. No Warren Buffett, no the Wolf of Wall Street. Nobody knows where the market's going to go. We just prepare for whatever direction the market is going to take. Okay, once it hits the volume that we need, we actually enter the market. Once we actually do that, the next candlestick is actually going to move into a certain direction. And as you can see, this trade right here, just this one, gave us a 2-to-1, super fast, and then retracted. Who cares? I made 1-to-1 in here, profits, simple. But then the price continues to move for the rest of the day. And as you can see, boom, this was a 5-to-1 in risk reward. Risk reward, we're gonna talk about it in just a little bit, but risk reward basically is how many times you're gonna make money or how many times over you're gonna make the money that you're risking. So if you're risking $100 and it's 5-to-1, that's $500. If you're risking $300, that would be $1,500. If you're risking like $10,000, that's 50. Obviously, I'm just giving you the math, right? So as simple as that. Take a look, 5-to-1. Why? Because the market does these crazy movements during the New York market opens. Go to 15, and this is what happened. Okay, I had a trend line right here, but like I said, I don't want to confuse you or anything, but I had a trend line because I realized that at the bottom of this trend line, it retracted. It was, to me, something to analyze, to keep an eye on. Now, if we actually go into NASDAQ, we are going to go right here. Go. This is when the market opened. Now, this is a loss that we had, and it's basically because I actually explain this in my my private signals group all the time. But whenever the market opens and it's right at the entry, don't enter. Okay, I made the mistake of entering today, but I don't enter because even if the market opens up, that's awesome. We make money, but you never know where the market is going to open to or what direction. And so if you open hoping that it's going to continue in that direction, you're just gambling. Okay, so that was a big mistake that I did today. But other than that, once the price actually it barely made some money and then retracted, I didn't enter. I didn't win that trade. I didn't enter here. And then this happened. Take a look. A 4-to-1 right here. 4-to-1 right here. Directly. Boom. All the way down. This one I did enter live with the people in my group, and I closed at 2-to-1. It could have been a 4-to-1, but we're going to talk about risk reward in a little bit. But yeah, this is how the strategy works. This happens every single morning. Obviously, it doesn't mean that you always win the positions. For instance, here, this is 7:30. It ended up being this climb right here. Another 7:30 is this right here. And take a look. boom, it ended up being this climb right here. So the point is that at the moment that the market is going to open, that's the moment that you're supposed to pretty much enter, because that's the moment that you're going to be you're going to see volatility, market support, and resistance levels. This is how the strategy works. If by any chance this isn't clear, it's too confusing or anything, make sure you rewind this part of the video and understand the strategy properly. Now, I did mention that people was trading with me in today's session, and pretty much they trade with me Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. Yep. Every single day I trade live. I share a Zoom video so that you can see my screen. I tell you when I enter, when I exit, when not to enter, when not to trade, every single day. So besides making the money, you'll learn a lot during the day. If you want to be part of that specific group, I do have two options for you. One is by paying a subscription. That's only $29.99. It's so cheap, man. $29.99 a month. And you can be part of the private Telegram channel. There's a 6-month and an annual plan. Or I can give you 1 whole year, 100% free. There's a link in the description to both of these options websites, and you can get a whole year if you only register with the link that I shared with you before below, which is with the broker that I personally use. The broker is Liquid Markets. This is the one that I use. Fast platform, available worldwide, fast payouts. I've been getting my payouts within an hour, which is insane. So totally trusted broker. And worldwide. So once you actually open your account, make a deposit of at least $300, because if you make less than that, you won't be able to trade indices anyways. So it's going to be useless. The account, I mean, you're not going to be able to trade with me. So what's the point? But once you actually follow all these steps, you fill out this form, and I'm going to give you a whole year of live trading sessions, trading with me. You want to know more about how these sessions works before you make a decision, go and join my free Telegram channel. The link's in the description. And there I share my live sessions, the ones that I have every day. I share them right there so that people could actually watch the replay and see how the session went and stuff. So there you can actually have a better idea. But yeah, the invitation is right there, either with the subscription or with the deposit. You can get a whole year. So hopefully I can see you there. I mentioned risk reward because in my opinion, it's probably the most important aspect of this specific strategy. I usually share a 5-to-1 setup. Why? Because a couple months ago, we were getting 5-to-1s every single day. So that's what we target. But lately, we haven't been able to get a 5-to-1. Like at least at the market opens. Sometimes it happens like this, but this wasn't at the market open, so this doesn't count. This one did hit a 5-to-1, but like I said, it doesn't happen that often. Usually what's happening is 2-to-1s, 3-to-1s, 1-to-1s. And I even mentioned this in my group today, and I said, okay, probably the mistake that a lot of people are making is they're waiting for that 5-to-1 to hit before they book any profits or before they protect the orders. And that's a huge mistake. Look, the markets lately, ever since certain events around the world, I don't want to talk about it because this is not a political channel. Markets have been so unpredictable. Like they've been having less volume. People are afraid. And institutions are afraid. It's a whole deal. We haven't been able to get the volume that we used to have back in 2025. Therefore, I will always suggest you, this is the step-by-step that I suggest you. Once it hits a 1-to-1, 2 options, or make the 2 or one of the 2. Move your stop loss to break even. So if it retracts, you don't lose any money. Close half of your trade. So if it retracts and hits the stop loss, it's a break even. Or do both. Close part of it and move your stop loss to break even. That's the one that I recommend the most. Once it hits a 2-to-1, I always tell you, book 80% of your profits and let the 20% running. Why is that? Because we don't know how the markets are behaving at this specific point. We only react to the market. It's like gurus know exactly what the market's gonna go all the time. No, this is not real. This is not the way it works. Sometimes it goes in the right direction, sometimes it doesn't. That's gambling. We only can react to the market. That's the reason why I always tell people when to enter and when not to enter. And this comes to a different point, which is market order versus stop order. I always tell you when I enter, and I always enter market orders. I don't put put stop orders. Why? Because at the time that I'm looking at the charts, I'm analyzing whether I should enter the trade or not. Sometimes I see the price activating, but doing movements that I consider unsafe. And so I don't enter the trade. And it has happened that it reached the entry point. A lot of people entered because they had the stop order, and then the price retracts and they lose money. And they're like, oh my God, did you enter, Chris? No, I didn't enter because I wasn't sure about the market. And I usually say during my calls, I'm not going to enter just yet. I'm going to let you know when I enter. I prefer market orders, even if you don't enter exactly at the entry point that I gave, but it's because we are reacting to the market. There are ways to put limit orders and different strategies and stuff. Yes, there are ways, but this strategy itself doesn't work like that. So my biggest advice is, number one, if you are in my group, join the calls, because there's a lot of people in the group that don't join the calls for some reason. Number one, join the calls. If you're not in the group and you're gonna do it on your own, you're gonna understand how to read the market, like how you follow your gut, not your desire. Desire is not your gut. Your gut tells you, okay, the price is not gonna go to the right direction. I don't feel like it. Your desire is like, the price is gonna give me a 10 to 1. That doesn't exist. If you're gonna be trading on your own, you're gonna like learn a lot of stuff, practice and demo and stuff. But if you're gonna be trading with me, which is what I would recommend you, join the calls, okay? Super, super important. And that brings me to the last part, when to exit a trade. I always, like, again, if you're gonna be trading with me, I'm gonna tell you exactly when I exit the trades. But if you're gonna be trading on your own, you're gonna see that I draw different support and resistance levels. Besides the entry ones, I draw this and this. I would go out of a position on the next strong support and resistance in these markets. What I mean is, for instance, right here, this is the entry that I was able to take on this sell, and I exited around 2 to 1. Why? Because this candlestick had already broken the trend line and it's still retracted. I wasn't sure that the price was going to retract, so I exited right here. Why? I see this, it's probably invisible to you, but I see this. See this? This big wick right here was brought back. Even the price went down, it was brought back. So this support is strong. So I was like, okay, I'm closing right here because I'm not sure if the price is gonna break. This time it did, but sometimes it doesn't. Same thing happened right here. In this specific well, no, not right here. Oh yeah, in this case, I actually had a sell position somewhere here and I exited at this support level. So my advice is if you're gonna be trading alone, make sure that you don't find only the support and resistance of the entry, but you also find the next support and the next resistance. If that support and resistance is within 2 to 1, 3 to 1, just exit all of your trades. If you want to still hold part of it, move your stop loss to break even, close half of it and let the rest run, and maybe you hit a 5 to 1. But don't leave the entire trade to a 5 to 1. I know it sounds juicy to have a 5 to 1. It's amazing. It has happened before. But it's just something that doesn't happen every single day. And you got to deal with it. This is the market. This is the way it works. So again, I want to give you a warm invitation. Join my signals group. Okay. If you don't want to, that's fine. You don't trust me, that's fine. Trade on your own, but follow all of these steps. Support and resistance, next support and resistance, and exit at the right time. And you'll be good to go. Hey, so hopefully you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button, support this channel. And more importantly, if you have any questions, comments to share, you can always put them in the comment section. I'll be glad to take a look at those comments. And yeah, hopefully I can see you on the next one. Peace.